Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. I'm Tony, and I'm being joined just by Drew today. Matthew's a little bit busy, but how we doing?
Good. We only have one episode after this until regular season baseball is being played. So I'm excited.
It is pretty. Again, like I think I've said this every single time we've had we've done the podcast. Like it's insane how fast this season's coming up. Because I just remember starting the podcast being like, we got to get through, almost 3 months until of just whatever until the season starts and we're almost there. We've almost got there. So, but yeah. So right now, not much has happened with. Obviously, it's just normal spring training stuff. WBC has been going crazy though. U.S. is in the finals after a really unfortunate way to end the game yesterday. Just a bad strike call after a good at bat from Perdomo, but U.S. wins. So right now, Italy is playing Team Venezuela. So the winner of that goes to the championship against the U.S. So, and that'll be tomorrow, but we'll see how that turns out. But to get into the Rockies, why we're here. So we're just gonna go over the typical spring training recap really quick, just who's been good. So to start off, I mean, Charlie Condon is still he's still getting his hits. He hasn't had a home run in a little bit, but that's gonna happen. A big he's got an 1153 OPS still, so he's still crushing the ball. He's got 3 doubles with the 3 home runs. What I like is so he has 8 strikeouts, which that could be kind of alarming, but he's got 4 walks too. So if you're having a 2-to-1 strikeout ratio, I don't mind that, especially from someone that's going to be a power hitter. I don't mind that a lot. But this other dude has been even more insane with the strikeouts and walks is TJ Rumfeld, who I think it's pretty fair to say that he has won the first base spot. He has won it. He's got a 1098 OPS with 4 home runs, 10 RBI, and only 1 strikeout to 5 walks. I don't remember how many at bats he has, but he has the second most on the team or something like that, second or third most, and he only has 1 strikeout in spring training right now, which is just absolutely insane. So I mean, you gotta love that. Jordan Beck is still hitting pretty well. He's got a 1080 OPS after a home run on Saturday, I think, in a split squad. He's got 2 home runs now with 6 doubles, which is kind of insane. So he's been a doubles machine, and I think I've said that before, where I think he's gonna I think first having this spot, a full on starting spot and a full season, hopefully, to just kind of get back into things. I think he's gonna be a doubles machine because that's kind of just how he plays. He plays to the gaps a lot. He's a lot like Tovar like that. He does have 13 strikeouts, but he also has 7 walks. So again, if you're doing about 2-to-1, I don't mind that. So it's not too bad. He also does have a stolen base. So I expect him to steal probably a little bit more. I could see him stealing 20 bases on the year. He didn't really tap into that too much last year, and I think a lot of that was just because, again, the Rockies as a whole did not steal, but they've shown this year, in spring training, that they are very willing to steal, and they're gonna steal more, which I like, and so I expect Jordan Beck to be a part of that stealing. Another dude that I expect to be stealing some bases is Ryan Ritter, who's been mashing. Compared to what you probably are expecting from Ryan Ritter, he has a 937 OPS, which again, I don't think that's fair to say. It's not fair to say that that's going to be how it is in the year, but I mean, he's got 1 home run with 4 doubles. A decent amount of strikeouts. It's 14 strikeouts to only 4 walks, but that's kind of how he was last year too. He was a typically big strikeout guy, but he got 3 stolen bases, and again, he's got that positional versatility that he could play kind of anywhere at this point. Probably not center. You're not going to probably throw him in center field, but he could probably play any infield position, honestly. So he's been it's been pretty cool to see him play well, and then. Honestly, the star, I think, probably the star of spring training, I would argue, is Kyle Karros. This dude, he came to spring training, much just bulked up compared to last year where he was kind of a beanpole. He's got 1155 OPS with 2 home runs and a double, 6 strikeouts to 2 walks. So, and that's a lot because he hasn't had as many at-bats I think he's just had a few less at bats than compared to some of the other guys. But 3 stolen bases too, which you've got to love. And I think just like how Rumfeld has, I think, won the first base spot, I think Kyle Karros has earned the third base spot, which is really cool. Because that was I think everywhere was a question mark, and so it's pretty cool to see that he's now got that like kind of locked down. So
Yeah, it's been. I think before spring training, we were talking about Willie Castro probably filling in that third base spot.
mhm.
Karros played okay in regular season last year, but we didn't expect much.
Yeah,
So I think it really shakes stuff up with the lineup that Karros is playing so well. Now we have a lot more question marks because how Willie's played so far, he's going to be in the lineup somewhere.
yeah, and I think we
I think
talked.
regardless of how he played, he's going to be in the lineup. So now he's probably shifting over to second.
Yeah, I think we talked about
That's
that last week. I think he fills in pretty nicely as the starting second baseman, especially with the struggles of the other players that were in the mix at second. I think Willie Castro, and that's exactly why you sign him. You sign him because he is going to be a big league back regardless. So if wherever of the third base, second or first was not going to be ready, he's right there to fill in. And I mean, I think that Paul DePodesta, I think, worked very well to get that signing done, and I think that has worked honestly pretty well for the Rockies.
Yeah, and I think that a portion of that is why they threw Ritter in the outfield because
Yeah.
they also want to get him in, but they know that Willie's going to take over second. So that's just really nice because we're like having opposite problems right now than we did last year. Like
Hmm.
we're having serious discussions of like, oh, who actually deserves this spot over someone else instead of like, oh, we have no other option.
Hmm.
He's just gonna go there because we have no one else.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. I guess we'll transition into the pitchers.
Hmm.
Pitching has not been a strong suit of the Rockies
It never
so far
has.
in spring training.
Yeah.
Especially the bullpen, which I know previously we said was going to be the strong suit.
I mean, cold take yet again
Yeah.
by us. That's all we do.
Yeah. But we'll talk about some of the positives in the pitching staff so far. One that I think could ruffle some feathers in the starting rotation at the beginning of the year is Tanner Gordon.
Hmm.
He's had 11 innings pitched, a 1.64 ERA, 12 strikeouts, which is a very striking number for him, and only 2 walks, another striking number from him. He has a .91 WHIP, which anything under 1 is great, and I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's spring training, but I think the most important part of this is only 2 walks in 11 innings, because walks are something that the pitchers have more control over than the batters do.
Hmm.
Strikeouts are a little different because you're going to get a lot of guys who don't have a lot of big league experience, so they're going to swing and miss a lot. But the 2 walks is extremely impressive because we've said time and time again, the problem with the pitching staff is they just give free bases and then they get shelled, and then it gets even worse from there. So Tanner Gordon, one of the 2 starters on my list, he's been great, and I think we were talking before, like maybe he's going to be a guy that comes in when someone gets hurt in the rotation, which is kind of inevitable. But I think he may work his way into that 5th spot. The next, we'll move to the bullpen. We'll go with Zach Agnos. I was high as can be on him last year before he got hurt.
Hmm.
I'm a big personality guy. Like that's how I kind of connect with the players, and he just seems like such a great guy and such a chiller. But he's had 6.1 innings pitched, has yet to give up a single earned run, with 7 strikeouts and only 1 walk in a .63 WHIP, which is pretty crazy. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but the 1 walk is extremely impressive considering, especially like our setup and closer type guys have had huge struggles with command.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he's only walked 1 guy is great. He still hasn't given up an earned run, so I don't really know what else to say other than that. Like he's been fantastic.
He's been very good. Yeah.
I think if they're going like if they're swapping like playing every other day, like I think Vodnik's going to set up, and then the next day Agnos is going to set up. So I think that's a really good spot for him. That seems like last year that seemed like where he excelled the most was just like a 1 inning to max 2 inning guy, um, and not giving up a ton of runs before he got injured. So last on the good list is Kyle Freeland. He's got 5 innings pitched, a 1.8 ERA. He's got 6 strikeouts and 3 walks and a 1.4 WHIP. Not terrible, but at the same, he's a veteran, so like the good stats to me don't mean a ton, just because like how many spring trainings has he gone through at this point? And he has a ton of big league innings, so like I think he's naturally going to perform pretty well at this level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad to see that it hasn't been a catastrophe, I
Yeah.
guess is the good way to put it. You have anything on Kyle?
Like, I mean, I think it's of note, or it's worth mentioning the one of the runs that he's given up, which I think he's given up 1 or 2 with the 1.8 and 5 innings or whatever. One of those runs was to Aaron Judge, which and against the Team USA, which like, yeah, yes, sure, you can't just brush that off because it's a big league hitter that he's going to face, but also he had to pitch against the Team USA lineup, and he did fine.
I mean, they're in the finals, so
yeah. So, and he only gave up the home run to Judge, and then it was like a bloop double to Kyle Schwarber where Jake McCarthy just made not a great play on it. So like that, I don't even blame on Kyle Freeland. It was a fly ball, and the one to Judge, like it was just a bad pitch. It was just a cutter, pretty much down the middle, and that you don't throw that to him. So other than that, I think he's been pretty good. Like he has 3 walks, but again, like it's very short, like small sample size. I think he'll be fine. I'm just hoping that he can kind of just be an anchor in that rotation. I mean, we're gonna have 3 veterans, but like there's gonna be some revolving door of some sort at some point, probably, especially of young guys. So I'm just hoping that he could be that anchor that he's been for honestly the last 7 years. So, but yeah, other than that, like you said, there haven't been that many bright spots in pitching. And there usually never is with the Rockies. That's just how it goes. But now we're going into the bad stuff. So the guys that have still been struggling. Hunter Goodman. So like he hit a home run, I think yesterday, as of recording this. He hit one like over the batter's eye, so he still got the power. But he is like really struggling. And I am just hoping it is a matter of just maybe coming off the season last year. Maybe he's got a little bit more like jitters than normal because he's like, I need to replicate that, and maybe he's trying to do too much. And I'm just really hoping that's all it is, and they can kind of settle him down. I am so sick of watching Rockies in general, just any player on the Rockies be a one and done, have a good season, and then just be bad for the rest. Like I'm sick of seeing that, and I'm really hoping that Goodman is not that. And then, do you have anything else on Goodman at least?
I mean, it's not what we're like expecting to happen throughout the season, but the last couple of years, it's just really giving us PTSD.
Yes, I would
Like
agree.
he's kind of he's forgotten in my mind at this point, but like Nolan Jones.
Like that's like the most egregious example, was just like how good he was for 90 games. I mean, he looked like he was about to be like a cornerstone of this franchise for years to come. And then, I mean, he fell off a cliff. That's like honestly even an understatement for how just abysmal he was in 2024.
And he still has not been good.
No, since he was traded back to Cleveland. No. So I don't know, but yeah, that's just how. And I'm just hoping that Goodman can find some more something else, and hopefully this is just an early, maybe just spring training bug that he'll work through.
Maybe the new coaching staff has him doing some weird adjustments,
and that's also totally true because you got to take everything with a grain of salt. in spring training, because that could totally be it. It could be they're trying to maybe fix his load a little bit, because you know how big his leg kick is. Like maybe they're trying to change that a little bit so he can be more on time with other pitches or something. So that could totally be it too. And I'm just hoping that maybe it's just an adjustment that he's trying to work through. So up next is Edward Julian. So someone we traded for. This is a combination of both spring training and the WBC. He performed pretty poorly in the WBC for Team Canada, and he was not good in spring training when he was with the Rockies. And so it's pretty just, he was a guy that honestly was, I think, projected probably to win the second base spot. And I think right now, I mean, he's just fully lost it. I would not be shocked if this dude starts in AAA, because he has been so not good. And so I'm hoping that, again, maybe it's just new, like the opposite of what TJ Rumfield's going through. Maybe it's just new franchise, new everything, new environment, and he's just hard. It's not adjusting as well, but hopefully he can figure something out. Yeah. And then two pitchers we got to talk about. I mean, this one just hurts. I hate it. Yeah. Ryan Feltner. Like, I love Ryan Feltner, and I have wanted him to be good for a while, and it's just whatever he's working through is just not working. And I'm hoping that a lot of it is they're trying new things and they're trying to find something else. But like, he has been really bad in spring training, and it's just been a carryover as to what was going on last year when he did pitch, because he was okay. And then just coming back from that injury, he has just been terrible.
Yeah. It has never been the same since he got hit in the head.
Yeah. It was after...
That was my first year as a Rockies fan, and I loved Ryan Feltner.
Yeah.
And ever since he got hit in the head, he has not been the same pitcher. Because before then, he was performing very well. Mm-hmm. Like, he just had I think he had a maybe high threes ERA at the time. Like, very good Rockies pitcher, but he was young. I'm pretty sure that was his first year of big league pitching. And so really since that 2023 season, he just has not been the same guy.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping again that maybe it's they're trying new pitches and he'll work through something, but we'll have to see.
Venezuela walked in a run, by the way.
Yeah, I saw it. Just brutal. And the last pitcher we got to talk about here, I mean, and in all fairness, we could talk about quite a few pitchers here, but I don't want to dwell on too many negatives here. Yeah. Is Jaden Hill. He's a guy that this is just a cold take for me. I mean, I think he has really good stuff, and I think he has a lot of potential to be good. He has just been a little too wild, and then when he gets hit hard. He's got a decent amount of strikeouts. He actually strikes out a decent amount of players, especially in spring training so far. But his problem has just been he has just allowed a run, I think, every time he's gone out there. And, obviously that is just not a recipe for success. And so I'm just hoping that he can figure something out, and maybe a more consistent playing time, more consistent appearances can help him, because I know that he had a kind of a lack of that last year. So we'll just have to see how that shakes out. But yeah, I mean, that's just where I'm at with him.
Yeah, nothing to add.
Yeah. So those are the updates with spring training, players wise. And then we got some roster moves. So again, every Sunday, I don't know if this was this Sunday? Yeah. Every Sunday, for the last few, there have been the non-roster invites, or the minor league guys getting sent to minor league camp. And so yesterday they announced that these players have been assigned to minor league camp. So outfielder Drew Avens, right-handed pitcher, Eberson Castanello. Jesus, I'm so terrible at pronouncing names, dude. It's insane. Left-handed pitcher Connor Eaton, left-handed pitcher Adam Lasky, catcher Kyle McCann, and then left-handed pitcher Sean Sullivan. So the one that I'm kind of shocked about is honestly Sean Sullivan, because he's been pretty good, but I think that's just what it is it's a matter of he's going to get a little more time in the minor league level, because like he's pretty good, and I don't think they want to do a Chase Dollander last year where they just rush him up super quick and he just gets hammered. I think they just don't want to do that. They want to, take it a little slower and make sure he's actually ready to play at the big league level. And then with Kyle McCann getting sent, I think it's pretty obvious that now it is full on Braxton Fulford versus Brett Sullivan. And I think right now Brett Sullivan has the track to be that starting catcher, or the starting backup catcher. And so, but yeah. And then Colorado has 45 active players remaining in Major League camp, including 10 non-roster invites. So that's where everything's at right now. And that's just pretty typical, standard things.
I'm a little surprised about Sean Sullivan, not only because he's performed well, but also because he's a lefty.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockies lack lefties.
Yeah.
Was he a reliever?
He's a starter, and this is a guy that I think that they would ruin him if they tried to make him a reliever, because I don't think it fits his arsenal, because he's not a high velocity guy. He is a soft throwing, crafty lefty, as the term has been coined. And so I don't think that works in a reliever role. So I think that he's better suited as a starter, and that's probably why he got sent down.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So,
but the cool thing is we still have 10 non-roster invites that are still in big league camp.
Yeah,
which is pretty fun, because those are guys you want to see succeed, because they're pouring in everything they got to the spring training.
Yeah,
which not a lot of players do.
Yeah,
so it's just exciting to see that those 10 guys are still in Major League camp, and they may not finish that way, but they're still there.
Yeah, so those
2 weeks to go.
Those are the guys like Nicky Lopez. He's still there, and he's been pretty decent. You've got the Chad Stevens. You've got we got to play. Italy's up 2-0 now, though. So.
Yeah, that's all.
But who did I say? Chad Stevens. He's still there. And then, like I said, Brett Sullivan, he's still there. But then for pitchers, I mean, you've got people like John Brebbia, who I think he's pitched well enough. I think he's going to be in the Major League bullpen, which I think he's earned. And again, he's got a little bit of that veteran presence for a pretty young bullpen for the most part. So, like, I don't think that that's a bad situation there. So, but yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Next week is going to be the big one, honestly. Next week will be the big roster shifting thing, and there may be one in the middle of this week too. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out. But other than that, that's all I've got with the roster moves. There's not too many.
I have one roster move.
Okay.
Has absolutely nothing to do with the Rockies. Well, kind of. But for the Kansas City locals listening, our independent baseball team, the Kansas City, the T-Bones.
T-Bones, yep.
They have signed former Rockies pitcher Dakota Hudson.
Ah, there we go.
So we may, I may take a trip up there if I can somehow find out when he's pitching. I may show up just to watch him.
No, that'd be fun.
Dakota Hudson being terrible for the Rockies, but a Rocky nonetheless.
Yes, I would agree. I'll never forget last year. Matthew and I went up to Omaha. We watched a Storm Chasers game, and Harold Castro played for the Royals minor league affiliate. And Matthew and I were screaming in our Rockies uniforms that we were wearing from the dugout. And he looked over and he pumped his fist at us. And we're like, heck yeah, he knows. And then he hit a home run in that game too. So that was pretty cool.
Probably helped that you guys had dugout seats too.
Yeah, that's
pretty easy to point out.
Also true. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's always fun. Supporting former Rockies, good or bad, it doesn't matter. Like, it's always fun. So gotta love that stuff. But now getting into, if you got nothing else with the roster stuff, now it's WBC. So yeah, this has been going on. It's been a pretty good tournament, honestly. Like, it's been pretty good. The Venezuela versus Japan game a few nights ago was one of the best games, honestly, I think I've ever watched. Like, it was so fun watching the back and forth that they had. And Tovar did really well in it. He went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. still owns Yamamoto. He does. It's so funny. He's like 8 for 11 against him with like 2 home runs and 2 doubles or something, which is just
And
absolutely crazy.
I think we talked about this last night. Is that Yamamoto likes to throw the ball low in the zone.
He's got that
and
sinker and stuff that goes down,
that's Tovar's
and that's
sweet
in
spot.
his
Like,
zone. So
he can scoop a double over the shortstop's head on a sinker that's about 6 inches below the zone.
yeah,
And
exactly.
we've seen it time and time again. So I think that really helps him out, which is great because we're probably going to have to face him probably 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Next season, so.
I would probably say so. So, but yeah. So with the Rockies that have played in the WBC, that have done well. So like I said, Tovar. We're not going to talk about Senzatella's not great outing against the Dominican Republic.
Well, we already talked about Julian, but
Yeah,
I think those are really him. Vodnik was
Bernardino was fine too. Like, I don't think either of them did anything. They didn't do anything like outright bad, but they also weren't like, just lights out.
Yeah, it's been an overall positive WBC
for the Rockies. I would agree, because Tovar in this tournament, so coming into tonight, he was 6 for 9. He's got 3 doubles, 2 stolen bases, and 4 runs scored. So he's been pretty good as the starting shortstop for Venezuela, which I think is just so. I love that he's a starting shortstop for a team that's vying for the championship right now. That just makes me happy.
I mean, you look at that. You look at their lineup, like, it's loaded with stars.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is among those stars is really great. And it's bringing him a lot of national attention that I don't think he saw last season, because he did struggle a little bit. Like, he hasn't seen that national attention since he won the Gold Glove.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good momentum, and especially because this is very high leverage baseball right now. It's not spring training.
I mean, yeah,
he's facing big leaguers, and he's in a lineup that he knows that he is probably the least, I want to say, popular out of the lineup I'm looking at for tonight.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he has to go in there and produce.
Yeah. And it's good, and it's good to see that that's exactly what he's doing. Yeah. And speaking of producing, Michael Lorenzen shoved against the U.S., dude. Like, I'm rooting for the U.S., but I wanted to see Michael Lorenzen still pitch well, because especially after how much he struggled in spring training, I was like, he needs this for just his mentality going into the season. He's got to pitch well in this WBC. And I mean, he went out there and just he pitched as good as you could have against that team. He went 4 2/3 innings and did not allow a run, struck out 2 and walked 1, and got the win for Italy over Team USA, which is just absolutely insane that he did that well.
Yeah, we were going into that game like,
this
awesome.
This could be
going to score like 10 runs.
Yeah,
but no, he was a complete flip from spring training, and I think again. I think a lot of spring training he's been toying with stuff and trying to figure out what works.
I think that's exactly what he was.
And now I think when he went back to the WBC, he knew he had to pitch well.
Yeah.
And so I think he's not working on anything while he's pitching.
Yeah, you're not going to work on, does my cutter work well in a game against, Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge is your first 3 that you've got to face. That's not the time to test out the new pitches. So, yeah. And as of now, if Italy were to win this game against Venezuela, they would be in the championship, and he is lined up to start that game against the U.S. in the championship, which who knows how that's going to go. But I mean, he could be. I mean, all he has to do is pitch fine, and it's still like, you did well. So
yeah, like against that lineup, even if he pitches 4 innings and gives up, I would say, like 2-3 runs, like
that's a success, I would say.
Like, you got to look at the lineup. I mean, it's an all-star lineup.
Exactly.
And so it's the best lineup he's going to face all year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he can just do okay.
Yep. And then Willie Castro. So for Team Puerto Rico, they got knocked out by Team Italy, actually. And Willie Castro did okay. He went 4 for 15. He had a leadoff home run in the quarterfinal game against Team Italy. He had a leadoff home run against them, so that was pretty cool to see. So he had a home run with a double, and then he also had 1 stolen base and 1 run scored, and so that was pretty cool to see that because he picked up a little bit right where he left off from spring training because he was pretty good in spring training going into the WBC. So he played pretty well there too. And then Juan Mejia, 3 innings, no runs, and only 1 strikeout. But he did his job for sure. Yesterday in the Dominican Republic versus USA game, he had to come in and kind of save the Dominican Republic. They were kind of reeling. They allowed 2 home runs. And in all fairness, Juan Mejia almost let up a home run, but Julio made a pretty good catch in center field. And so, which I don't think it was a home run either way. I think it was just short.
I think it would have hit the top end of the wall.
But nonetheless, good catch. And I think, in all fairness, again, I think Brenton Doyle makes that catch too. So it's like, you could give up that, I guess. But again, you're not going to be facing that lineup very often. So, well, ever actually. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, like, I think the Rockies that were in the WBC played pretty well. I saw some MLB graphic, like MLB Network graphic, that said top 5 teams that have players in the WBC and how they're performing, like, by the team. And it was like Royals are number 1, which I think is fair. Like, Vinny's been very good. Jack has been pretty good. He had
a 3 home run game.
Yeah. Maikel Garcia has been pretty good, and then Bobby Witt has been Bobby Witt. And so, but the Rockies were not in the top 5. And I'm like, and they had the Cubs at number 5, and I'm like, I don't agree personally. I think the Rockies should get a little more credit, but the Rockies never will on a national scale. But I think that the Rockies have performed pretty well. The Rockies that have been in the WBC have performed pretty well. So, but that's just how it goes.
When a national, well, I wouldn't say national, but a very large Twitter page is posting Rockies highlights because the MLB won't post them.
Yeah.
That they're due.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even this guy's getting the attention of like, oh, they're literally like the Rockies are doing good things. It's just we don't see it.
Yeah.
And I think that just further pushes the narrative of like the Rockies are oh so bad because they don't see any of the highlights. They just see when the Rockies get beat by like 20 runs.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw there was a graphic. It was a few weeks ago at this point, probably like 2 weeks ago or a week. There's a graphic of amount of times that decoy Shohei Ohtani's dog has been shown on the MLB Network or MLB Instagram page or whatever, and it was 11 times. And then it was times that the Rockies were featured, and it was 5. And that was like 2 weeks into spring training. And it's like, like, you'd think we'd be used to it at this point, but like that, it just still blows my mind. And I understand that Ohtani is at this point. I mean, he is the face of the MLB. I get it, but like that's kind of insane.
It's his dog.
It's a dog. It's his dog. Like, yeah, it's not even him. That's just how it goes. But it is what it is. We got to stay in our little corner. We can be the only ones that can support this team because that's just how it goes. But got anything else on the WBC or why the Rockies can't be national media darlings anytime soon?
No.
All right. Well, the last part of I like how saying the last part of our show. I feel stupid saying that. The last part of the pod is going to just be what we see as a successful season for the Rockies. And so, like, obviously we could be here and just say, oh, they're going to win 80 games. Like, that is just not realistic. It's not at all realistic. I think right now the win line is at like 53.
And I will say, I'll start off with beating the books is a good thing.
Yes, I would agree.
I think I think that plays a much stronger piece of this than I think people may think.
Yeah.
Like, these are people that do this for a living and do the math. They predict that that's what they're at. So anything above that is somewhat successful. And for me personally, and this is a little bit of a stretch, but at this point, I don't think is completely out of reach, is breaking the 100 loss streak. That's a little far-fetched, I know. But it at the end of the day, like between 53 and 63, that's one or two win streaks that just happen in baseball. And I think we got so far away from that last year just because it was so poor. But remember the year before when they went on a 7-game win streak for literally no reason. Like it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And so I think if they put a couple of those together, I do think that that's possible.
I
I
think
don't
with
think that's out of reach.
I think that this year a big key, I mean, obviously, is going to be the starting pitching, because last year it was just at a point where the starting pitching literally never gave the team a chance to win, because it was through 3 innings every night we were down by 5 runs at least, and it was like they just never had a chance. And so, and that, again, it's because the team's ERA, the starting ERA, was the worst in all of modern history. And so, if we're less than that, which by all accounts we should be, knock on wood, we should be better than that this year. And I do
Yeah.
think that this offense is better than it was last year. I think going into the season, I believe that, like, so what? You're 100 losses. That means you're a 60. What, you're a 62 win team? No, you're a 63 win team.
If you break 100, right?
If you're 63, then you have 99 losses.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we would need 63 wins, which, mind you, that's a 22 win increase from last year, which, again, I understand how bad they were last year, and at least on paper, we are much better this year. By all accounts, by a lot of projections, we are still going to be a 50-ish win ball club, which, and even like a not like, because they're expecting a 10 or 11 game increase, which that's a lot. Like, even for a bad team, that's a lot. I don't know if I am quite there with breaking the 100 losses. I think it might be close. I think that we may get to 59 wins. I think there's a chance to, maybe, if we're lucky, break 60, and that's if we get on a roll. We just can't allow. First of all, the start of the season, we can't be 9-50 again, which is just unreal that was even a reality. But like, and I don't foresee that happening, even though our April is gonna be bad this year.
Yeah, it's bad.
As long as we can go, I mean, as long as we can be okay in April, and okay is like, we're still not a 500 ball club. Like, I'm still thinking
No,
we
that's
lose
winning
every series.
one game per two
Yeah,
losses.
I was gonna say that's we're still losing every series, but we just don't get swept. But I think a lot of that. Go on.
I think if you put like you're right with the starting pitching, is that they took us out of games before we even had a shot to win. I think if you can put a metric on it, because I actually do want to go back at the end of the season and look at this. If we have an average starting pitching ERA of, like, I think I want to say like anything less, 5's a little aggressive. I would say anything under like a 5.5. I think that's more games that put the Rockies in position to win. Like, and that sounds terrible to about every other baseball team in the MLB.
Yes, but also like, this is also
us.
of note. Like, the Rockies ERA, starting ERA last year, was like a 6.6. So like, that's an extra run a game that you're not allowing. Yeah, that's more games that the Rockies, I think, definitely have a chance to win. So
I think five ERA is a little aggressive.
yeah, that would be a that would be a lot of
with
drop off.
The only other returner at this point that's gonna, well, I guess there's gonna be 2.
Yeah,
But that means there's gonna be 3 new guys who don't have that problem yet.
yeah. So
I think 5's a little aggressive, but I think anything under a 5.5 ERA is going to be a good step in the right direction.
mm-hmm. I'd agree. I would agree with that.
And I think, like, the second most important thing that we want to see that's success is the development.
Yeah.
We want to see Doyle get back or somewhere close to where he was. Tovar get back to where he was. Jordan Beck keep taking strides forward.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Goodman to not fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
And all the young pieces that are going to get added to this team throughout the year, that they just keep taking steps forward, because we're not expecting to go to the playoffs. We know that. We're not going to win a World Series anytime soon. But these young guys who can be in the organization for the next 6 years, just seeing them improve in any fashion. Like, they don't have to become amazing, but just seeing like Jordan Beck from 2 years ago, who's the last year he was like, okay, he's improving, like still being able to see that he's making that jump.
Yeah.
And just seeing the young guys and the players we see on that could be on the team in 5 years, just continuing to improve. And I think Dollander's a huge part because he's a starting pitcher, and the Rockies, it's clearly tough to sign great free agent starting pitchers, so they have to build from within.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see that over the next couple of years, what this regime has in store. For that.
I would agree. Like you said, I think Beck taking a big step forward. I think Doyle, if Doyle can be a league average hitter, he is going to be probably a 4-WAR player, I think, because his defense is that good. And I think that he will be pretty just a solid out overall, probably arguably top 3 player on the Rockies. I think same thing with Tovar. If Tovar is league average at hitting, he will be a very good player for the Rockies this year. Like Goodman, I'm not expecting. I don't think I'm expecting a 30 home run campaign again. But give us 25, give us 20 to 25 bombs again. I'm taking that from a catching position. Moniak, like I hope he can keep that success rolling, because I think he would be, I like him sticking around for a little bit, because I think he's got a good vibe with him, and I like it. And then again with like the new guys, like I mean Kyle Karros kind of got thrust in there, like we've said. So seeing him have a full year of that third base position, I want him to take that and run with it. I want to see TJ Rumfield, finally, he'll get the opportunity, and I want to see him flourish with that. I want Jake McCarthy to get just, he gets another chance with a different team, a fresh start, and I want to see this dude hit 25 triples this year. Like, this man is so fast. He just has to hit it in the gap, and he's gonna have a triple at Coors. So, and then with the pitching side, like you said, Dollander, I think building off of just, a really struggling year at Coors last year. Away from Coors, he was very good. He's got to figure out home. Tanner Gordon, keep on building off what you got. I need bounce back from Ryan Feltner a little bit better. And then with those veterans in that rotation, they can hopefully, and with Kyle Freeland as well, they could just be that rock that we need, that solid foundation that the Rockies need, to where they, that's just what they need. I think Enio Eugenio just hit a... Yep. All right. 2-1.
1-2.
2-1. Yep. But... And then, like, even in the bullpen, like Halverson getting another chance. Like, he's just got to settle down a little bit. Vodnik, another guy, just kind of got to settle down. I'm excited to see what Agnos has in store this year. But overall, like, that's the type of development that I'd like to see. And then the last thing we've got, like, is prospects. So these are just, players that have not debuted yet or barely debuted. Who do we want to see? I think a very obvious one's going to be Condon. Like, seeing Condon this year, I think at any point, and having success at the major league level, that would just be awesome. But then, like, we talked about him earlier. Is Sean Sullivan. Like, if he is cruising in the minors, like, do you give him a shot? Like, later on, in September, that type of thing. I think Gabe Hughes has a very good shot of cracking the big league roster at some point this year, especially if there are injuries to our starting rotation, or trades even, or moves or whatever. So, those are the big prospects that I want to see. I think Sterling Thompson may have a chance, but like he struggled a lot, and there's just not a lot of room for that utility guy right now on our team. So we'll just have to see where that goes.
Yeah, and we want to see Zach Bean make an appearance at some point.
It's true.
Loaded outfield. I think he will, but that's another prospect, like another guy we could see on the team in 5 years.
Yeah,
I just want him to improve.
Yeah, he's got to step it up a tiny bit, and hopefully with his new outlook on everything, hopefully that will help him have a chance to get better. Matthew sent a little note. Just I'm gonna see what he's got to say about stuff. He says for the WBC, he's glad to see Lorenzen and Tovar have been doing well. He's excited to see where the season goes for them, but also for all the other WBC guys. Hope it's a good sign of things to come. And then he's glad that Goodman is looking better. He's had a better few games. He hit a bomb, like a big bomb, so hopefully he can get back in a little bit of a rhythm there. And he says Karros is king. Want him to start at third base. So, yeah, I think that's very fair with Karros.
I got two things to finish. One prospect that may not make his debut this year, but I think everyone needs to keep his eyes on is none other than Stu Fleslin.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Last year he had a 3.97 ERA in 30 games. He's a lefty. He's tall. He's lanky. He gets the ball around. I think that's somebody we need to spot on for the next couple of years. He has probably one of the greatest names I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, Stu Fleslin's pretty elite.
And then you add the third on it, and then it just makes it even better. It's the cherry on top.
Yeah.
But watch out for Stu Fleslin. We're a Stu Fleslin podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking forward to what he's got to offer in Spokane this year. Which, ironically, he was born in Spokane, so he's he's in his hometown.
Hometown kid.
He's not a prospect we're gonna see this year. But I am so sick and tired of people poo-pooing on Ethan Holiday.
Yeah.
He just turned 19 years old. You realize he's got 3 years till he's Charlie Condon's age. He's got 3.
Yeah.
So Charlie Condon's doing great right now. But let's have this conversation in 3 years when he's at the same age Charlie is.
Yeah.
And if he's still doing poorly, then I'll lose that battle. But he has got 3 seasons in the minor leagues to improve.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I've seen so many people be like, "Oh, he was so bad last year when he played." I think did he go straight to high A? I think
so. So he was in Fresno. So he was in low A. Again, as an 18-year-old, like 3 years younger than the average guy.
Everyone was like, "Oh, he's a lot of swing and miss. Like he's just not." I'm like, dude, he literally just graduated high school.
Yeah.
Like he has so much time to develop, and it is just sickening that there are people out. It's not even Rockies people either, obviously, but like people who have somewhat large platforms are just like, yeah, Ethan Hall, I don't think he has it. Because he played poorly after he got drafted. He literally 2 months prior, he was actually facing 18-year-old pitching.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference. Like there are guys who are quote unquote veterans that are in low A.
Yeah.
There's guys who have been around who may be struggling to climb the ranks, but they've been around.
Yeah.
And so it is just sickening to see people already giving up on Ethan Holiday when he's literally 19 years old.
Yeah, I seen a guy on X that said something about him striking out twice in the one start that he got in the split squad, for the trip or for the spring training, and it's like I'm not gonna read into that at all. Like I get it that also we just read into a lot of spring training stats for guys. I get that, but like again, I don't think that there's much merit to his spring training stat line right now, or really any stat line until the season starts. Like this year, I think sure if he's really struggling and he's hitting 206 with a 35% strikeout rate at low A, I think at that point there's an argument to be like, okay, like an adjustment needs to be made. You need to change something, and let's work on that. But last, I think it's so hard to judge him so hard yet. And I'm just hoping, maybe that's coping, maybe that's just hoping for the best. But like, there's a reason that this guy was the number one draft on the draft board last year. Like, regardless of if the Rockies took him 4 overall, he was number one. It was because the Nationals did not want to pay for the number one overall draft pick. And it's funny because
they came out with rankings after the draft, and he was number one.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Rockies, if the Rockies got that number one pick in the draft lottery, they would have chosen him. So they just got him for cheaper. They literally just got him for cheaper because the Mariners and whoever else was in front of them took pitchers who, and I know that I saw people saying they wish that the Rockies took pitchers instead, which I'm like, I get it, but like, I don't think
Ethan Holiday is a true possible one-of-one player.
Yeah, and I think a lot of with like the thing is too, like I get that the pitching staff has been abysmal. I understand that. Like our offense has been very bad for the last few, like bottom 5 in the league every year for the last like 4 years. Like we have not been good ever since like CJ Cron left in 2023. We have had just a very abysmal offense. And it's just because we have zero power. Like, we've had pretty much zero power. And it's just like, there's a lot of raw power that Ethan Holiday shows. And his ability, I mean, he's a natural shortstop. He's not going to play shortstop if Tovar's on this team. So he's probably moving to third or second. So we'll just have to see from there. It was
and he was a higher rated prospect than his brother.
Yeah.
That to be known.
Yeah.
And it's not like Jackson Holiday's taken the league by storm, but it's not like he's been a bust by any means.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to call someone that made his major league debut 2 years ago a bust. So it's like I think that just nowadays with social media and everything, I honestly think people they get so like scared if something bad happens and then they see other people talking about, oh, could this be the end, or oh, is he a bust already when he's, drafted last year and he's 18 years old. So like, I don't foresee that being a problem.
He's very different than Paul Skeens getting drafted 101. Paul Skeens had 4 years of college under his belt.
Yeah, no, Paul Skeens.
That is 4 years of development. And don't get me wrong, Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in baseball.
Well, that's the thing, is that Paul Skeens.
People expect those high school draft picks to be the same, and the same as Jack Caglione and the same as Charlie, to start producing at the same time as those people. And it's like, the kid's 4 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a reason why he's getting drafted in high school and not college, and that's because teams see
the potential,
the vision of the player he could be.
Exactly. Like, and the thing is with like Paul Skeens, like that example was he was an MLB pitcher in college. Like at LSU when they won the championship, that dude could have been pitching in the major leagues and done good. So like, I mean, there's a reason people were so mad at the Pirates for not calling him up earlier, because he was clearly ready. And it's like, so with a high school prospect or with a high school draft pick, there's always going to be inherent risk. I will never get over the Rockies. I am sure he's a good guy. I get it. The Drew Romo draft pick was just an absolute bust. Like a high school catcher is the riskiest draft pick to make. And the Rockies did it, and I was not happy with it. And it's proven to, well, I mean, of course, naturally, when the Rockies played the White Sox, he had 2 hits against us in the same inning. So, but we'll just, it's scary with high school draft picks, but I do believe that Ethan Holiday is different. But, so, I'm hoping that he'll move up a little bit. I could see him ending the year in Spokane. That's probably where he'll end it. Because if he moves up one level a year, hypothetically, in 3 years, he'll be at AAA, and he'll be 22 years old. That's Charlie Condon's. Like, that's where Charlie Condon's probably going to start this year, is AAA as well. So it's like, it's fine. we're fine. It's all good. Now it remains to be seen if he does do well this year, but can't say anything about it now because we don't know. So, but yeah, it's doom and gloom. A lot of doom and gloom with the Rockies because why not? But not over here with us positive guys, always shining the light.
Yeah.
But that's all we got for today. I'm really looking forward to next week's because it's right before the season.
Have we announced what it is?
I don't think we have.
We're just gonna.
I think
we should keep it that way. We'll keep it that way.
We'll keep it a little secret. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be pretty fun. A pretty fun episode. Obviously, like right before the season starts, we'll be getting. By then, we should have like the roster set. Like I'm pretty sure the roster either set or mostly set, which is insane. So, Michael Lorenzen's in the game now. All right, so he's not starting against the U.S. They put him in now. They probably just need innings here. They need to get to that game. So, well, hopefully Lorenzen does well. But you guys won't know because, well, you'll know, but not as of now. So, but anyway, if you got nothing else, you got anything else? All right, well,
Next week.
Yep, see you next week. And as always, go Rockies, and we'll see you later. All right, bye.